Hey everybody, I'm here today to talk to you about 4 secrets that mechanics don't want you to know about. In this video, I will be outlining 4 simple things that mechanics won't tell you because it will save you money and cost them business, okay? It will cost them money because they will be getting less business, and it will save you money. And I'm going to be telling you about 4 specific secrets that mechanics won't tell you about. All right, let's get right to it. Secret number 1. You can do most of the regular maintenance tasks on your own. Things like oil changes, spark plug changes, coolant changes, changing the engine air filter, changing the cabin air filter. Things like that can be easily done by yourself with some simple tools and a decent set of instructions. But mechanics won't tell you this simply because they know that the majority of their business comes from these regular maintenance tasks, okay? So they won't tell you that what they're doing, that, you know, when they're charging you for 45 minutes worth of work, that what they're doing is only taking them 10 to 15 minutes, and it's so easy that you can do it in the comfort of your own garage or your own driveway, okay? The majority of those tasks. And they won't tell you that simply because it's going to cost them business, okay? And it's going to save you money. They would rather them do it and them overcharge you for the work than tell you that you can simply do it yourself. So that's a little unknown secret that mechanics sort of keep to themselves. A lot of their work, you know, these regular maintenance tasks can be done by yourself easily in the comfort of your own home, okay? Even if you're not a pro, even if you're just reading instructions for the first time, these things are easy enough to do. All right, secret number 2. Certain cars are more reliable than others. Now, mechanics know which cars are unreliable because they see the cars that come into the shop frequently. If they see that car A comes into the shop way more than car B, and I'm talking about car A and car B in general, as a general make and model, they know that, you know, the car that comes into the shop more frequently is usually more unreliable. But they don't want to tell you that. They'll tell you that, you know, all cars are unreliable. Parts break in all cars, and that's all that there is to it. You simply have to replace and repair parts, okay? But that's not the truth. Certain cars, certain makes and models are way more reliable than others. Mechanics know which ones they are, but they don't want to tell you that simply because if you buy the reliable make and model, then guess what? You're going to be taking business away from them because you're not bringing it in for service. Well, you're bringing it in for service, but you're not bringing it in for these one-off repairs, okay? So they're just going to say that all cars are unreliable, and they're going to leave it at that. All right. Secret number 3. Some repairs have cheaper fixes than others. So for some repairs, there are cheap and easy fixes that mechanics probably won't tell you about. Now, one example of this that my friend had encountered was that his radiator hose, one of his rad hoses, was leaking. And the reason that it was leaking was because it was basically torn apart at the end of the hose. So the end of the hose was in, you know, pretty bad condition, just the last inch or so of the hose. Now the mechanic said the only way that we can fix this is to replace the whole hose. And he texted me and asked me and sent me a picture, and I told him that there's a cheaper and easier fix for this. And the cheaper and easier fix was simply to cut off the last inch or so of the hose. Cut off that part that wasn't in good condition, and then you can simply reinstall that end of the hose. So you remove one end of the hose, you cut off about an inch of it, and then you reinstall it. Now there's enough length within your stock radiator hoses that, you know, you can actually cut off an inch or a little bit more of them, and they will have enough length to still reach where they need to go. So the mechanic said, you know, that can't be done. But not only, and you know, when my friend brought it to the mechanic, he simply refused. He said that it can't be done. It won't work. It won't work. My friend did it, And guess what? It worked, and it's still fine. So there are some cheaper and easier fixes and sort of workarounds to repairs that you may have to do to your car, And mechanics won't tell you about those because guess what? It's gonna take away from their business. It's gonna save you money. It's gonna cost them money. So they keep those little workarounds as their own little secrets, all right? Secret number 4. The parts that the mechanics are installing on your car may not be OEM parts, okay? Now here's the thing. OEM parts are original equipment manufacturer parts, okay? They mean, it simply means that they're parts that are coming directly from the manufacturer that sort of belong on your car. They're made for your car from the car's manufacturer. Now, generally speaking, aftermarket parts in most cases aren't as good as OEM parts. In most cases, aftermarket parts have a greater selection, but they're just not as good as OEM parts. Now, it's not a problem if the mechanic simply tells you, we're gonna get you an aftermarket part, but you're gonna pay a cheaper price for the aftermarket part. But if a mechanic is charging you the OEM price for an OEM part, but he's putting on an aftermarket part, that's when it's a problem. Because he or she thinks that you do not know about this part that they're putting on. They are, they're simply, making it look like they're putting on an OEM part, but in reality, they're putting on an aftermarket part. So they're compromising the quality of the parts and charging you for full quality, but giving you a lesser quality. That's a secret that mechanics keep to themselves. They simply tell you this is the cost of the part. They don't tell you the part they're getting, and they sort of, they get you on the part. They overcharge you for the part. So that's a little known secret that mechanics keep to themselves simply because it makes them more money. They're charging you for an OEM part, but they're giving you an aftermarket cheaper part, okay? So don't be fooled by these secrets, okay? Mechanics know all of these things that I'm talking about, all right? They know. Not all mechanics do these things, but they all know that, generally speaking, a lot of mechanics keep these secrets to themselves because it gets them more business, all right? So don't be fooled by these secrets. Keep these secrets in mind and make sure that you save as much money as possible. It's literally that simple. With all of these things that I've talked about, if you keep them in mind, you might be able to save some money. You will likely be able to save some money, or at least you will not be overcharged if you know about these 4 secrets. And that's basically it. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.